Hi, this is Allie from Allie Katz Crafts. I'm here to bring you a video on the Farmhouse Florals, August 2025. And here's what you get in the kit. You get 9 cards, 3 of each, 9 envelopes with only the flap that's colored. And I'm kind of sad because it's not the whole thing, so I can't do as much with it. Luckily, they gave us 2 stamp sets, which are amazing, so that made up for it, kind of. But not really. So each card you have a layering. So you have 3 of these. So actually, you divide up, you can get 6 cards. You get 3 extra of these, which would go over the top of this. No, that's a separate card. That's a separate one. Sorry about that. So you got 3 of those, and then you have 3 of these, but you also have 3 purses to overlap. So now you have 9. So you have 3, 6, and 6, 12, 13, 14, 15 cards at least. But however, I do alterations. I do what I want. I don't think I've ever made one exactly like it was. Well, when I first started doing Paper Pumpkin, I did because, you know, I'm not a rule breaker. I thought you had to do the kit as is. And I get frustrated because when I first started doing it a long time ago, I think like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and I don't even have those stamps. What's crazy is that I did not save them. It wasn't until recently that I started to kind of like throw them in a box, and then I sorted them all out. Because Allie Wonderland's Creations was saying, oh, you could do this and this, and I followed her advice, and it was excellent advice. Trust me. You should go check out her channel. It's an awesome channel. She gives you so many ideas. She does the alternative also. And she's the one that inspired me that I could step out of the box. I used to think I had to stay in the box. But now in paper crafting, well, you don't always have to stay in the box. I'm learning that now. So, with this one, we usually try to use one thing out of the kit. So, I'm going to use this piece and this piece. The typewriter thing, okay? I brought in a die that I've had for a while. I have this big magnetic board with all my dies that I like to visually look at and say, I'm going to use that die soon. Well, when I designed my die board, it's been almost a year, I haven't used it. So I thought, I'm pulling it out. I'm using it. I've been looking at it for a year. It's time to use this puppy. So what we're going to be using is that, and we'll be using some of the stamps out of the 2 little sets that came with it. I will also be using Everything is Rosy, using this one and this one. I might use that, but I found another birthday one that I'm going to be using. But I will be using this one that I get from Stamps of Life. A true friend remembers your birthday, but not your age. And the happy birthday right down there. I have several inks I'll be using, and I'll show them to you as I go along. Oh, actually, I'll be using one other thing. My friend Lori sent me the Extraordinary Flora with the washi tape. Let me show you the washi tape in case you haven't seen this video. There's 2 different colors. So there's purple and pink. So when you unroll it, I'll show you so you can see. It's pretty cool. And you take and you put it on a piece of paper, and there's a die that you can cut it all out. So here's the purple one, and you go further down, there's the pink. So you can cut out and have 2 different colors of flowers instead of just one. And this rolls right back up. So you're going to put it out on your paper. You will then take this die and lay it right over the top, and you'll cut out each one. There's also a stamp, so you can stamp it out and color it, and I did that also. So I'm going to be using these flowers in one of my projects because the Farmhouse Florals, get it, florals, the end of the word, it lends itself to anything, especially since they gave us 3 card bases with nothing on it, just speckles. So what do you do with that? You bring in your florals, right? Because it says florals in there. So I've already pre-cut this. It cuts this little area, and I've glued it on there so we can save some time. And then I took and I got some paper and I die cut it again. So I cut this thing 4 times. So here's one color, two colors. This was one of the card bases that I cut out using this, and you got to get it just right, which I will get in a second. So like I said, we will be making 2 cards, but I'll show you the other 2 that I did. And then I used the duckling one. It's not ugly duckling. I want to call it ugly duckling. I think it's because somebody else did. Darling duckling paper. And I used the retired mint macaro mint. And then I also used the secret C for the back. So, and then this is the darling duckling too. The layer. So what I'm going to first do is I already glue this down to a piece of white paper. It's going to be covered. So we're going to set that aside. So now I need to decide which one goes where. So this one goes there. Because when I get ready to stamp it. So I'm going to decorate this a little bit now. What I'm going to first do is I'm going to bring in Calypso Curl. Coil. I'm not sure how to say it. Your guess is as good as mine. That's all I got to say. So I'm going to grab my flower, the little itty bitty flower that came in the stamp set. And it's right here. And I'm going to stamp off. Yeah, I want to do the second generation. So I'm going to stamp off and then on. And then off and on and there. So I'm putting flowers all the way, whoops, gotta get it straight there, on here to decorate this so it's not so plain. Because I did not want it plain. So, and like I said, this is from the card base. I have to be careful when I stamp off that I can't just, I don't know if that makes sense. I can't just do that because what'll happen is it'll be kind of half on and half off, and we don't want that. So this first one's done, and that will go right there. Work on this one. So I don't want it really dark, but I want to have it on there. And the idea is to not do it too dark, because then it's too bright. And I want it to match the flowers in the floral. With this little flower, if I had a tiny little stamp thing instead of this big one, it would be better. But I don't have it right now because I'm using it on something else. There. So now I have that done. Okay. So the next color I want to do is I'm going to bring in Lost Lagoon. Let me clean this off really quick. Got my little wet wipe. I'll get most of it off, and then I'll use my wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing that Lori gave me. Okay, so I'm done with the flower. So the next thing I want to do is I want to bring in this, which was a part of the stamp set. And I'm going to stamp it. So there's this nice little lightness back there. I don't want it overwhelming. There. I'll do the next one. Oops, I forgot to stamp off. Darn it. I hate when I do that. That's okay, because guess what? I'll just have to do that on the next one. Just add a little more. So It's not exactly what I want, but it'll be fine. I think it'll look nice, actually, now that I think about it. Oh, yeah, I like that. I'm glad I did that, actually. Made that mistake. Okay, so we're past that part. Next thing I want to do is start gluing it down. So I'm going to start with this one. And I will put some glue right here. Now I put it on here because it's easier than putting it on the paper. So I'm going to put this right here, and glue it in its little spot. What I like about this die is that, yes, you have to cut it 4 times if you want different color papers, but you get 4 cards. So that's what I got with 4 cards, and I did them all a slightly different design, and using bits and pieces of paper pumpkin to bring it in to make it an official card. Ooh, a little bit too much glue. Put that on my little towel here. My little paper, my baby wipe. Couldn't think of the word all of a sudden, just went blank. Okay, so the next one I want to put right here. Oh, did I do this right? Heavens and Murgatroyd, did I? I think I forgot to turn. Nope, I did it. No, I did it wrong. Darn it. It's not a problem though. Guess what? It all works out good because, see, I didn't turn them over. That one goes right there. Nope. This one goes right here. Now, I thought I had this just right, but okay. And then this one goes like this. So I need to bring out my stamp and restamp this. Heavens to Murgatroyd. Okay, we'll do this again. Well, it gives me another opportunity, right? Kind of how I feel about it. It's no big deal. Okay, let's clean this off now. Oh, I'm glad I didn't clean it off right away. Okay, and then we're going to glue these down. Just fill that little space with glue. Get all lined up. As long as you put it within these lines, it'll be fine. That's why it's important that you line it up to the right side, because I did this. I stuck it on there and realized, oh, that one doesn't quite fit. It's just slightly a little bit different in size. And I picked up this die a long time ago. I'm telling you, like years ago. Or at least a year. I don't remember exactly. And I think it was Amazon, if I remember correctly. So the next step, I'm going to glue it onto this piece right here. It's just a really fun, easy card. Just glue it on right here, get it all even. I like to pick it up and look at it, see where it's going. And if it doesn't look even, I could still move around. That's the nice thing about liquid glue, is you can still move it around a little bit. And press it down, okay? The next step, I have a white piece of paper and I'm going to glue it on. So the sizes that I have, it's a 8.5 by 5.5 card base, white, folded in half, scored it 4/4 and then folded in half, basically. So the next piece is the top layer. It was the layer down, which is this one right here, the duckling one. It is 4 inches by 5 1/4. This die is, I think it was, let me get my ruler out. I forgot to tell you that. I'm so sorry as I went along. Usually I tell you. So it's 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. And if you don't have a cool ruler like this, you know how sometimes you struggle with the measurements? On the stamp thing, on the Stampin' Up! Cutter, It doesn't show the 8th or the 16th. Well, it does, but it doesn't mark it. But look at this. This one actually marks it. It's a Victor one. Amazon. Just to let you know. I'm pretty good with my measurements, but when I got this, so when I teach you guys stuff on the card things, I could actually show you. It makes it easier because it's hard to show the other way. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this in the middle. Now I could leave it plain, but I wanted all the colors in here. That was the whole idea. So this white one was from an envelope, okay? This is just extra paper, and I use a stamp on it. This is the Darling Duckling. That's Darling Duckling and white paper. And this came out of stamps, and that came out of stamps. So the next thing I'm going to do is I want to prepare my typewriter. So it's going to be a birthday card. So I'm going to grab, let me put this lid on because my glue has not been happy lately. So I've been neglecting it quite a bit. I'm going to get the Secret C and bring this back in so I can do some stamping. I'm going to, oh, I love this happy birthday one. It's really cute. It's nice and small. That's what I like about it. So I want to do this. I want to do happy birthday. And happy birthday again. I gotta look right over the top of it. And I am so sorry. Hopefully my head doesn't get in here. Happy birthday again. Happy birthday and happy birthday. Just like that. Clean that one off. Now I'll close my ink. And I want to get my dimensionals out. Well, first I want to stick this in here. So I want to put it right inside of here so it's just kind of sticking out. So it says, happy birthday, happy birthday. See how cute that is? Just something a little different I wanted to do. So I'm going to put the dimensional right here to keep that in place. Put another one right here. And one right there. Now, I'm going to put it on the card, kind of like that. That's what I was thinking. Oh, wait, no, I have to do it this way, wrong way, because of my flowers and stuff. They stick too far up. So I'm going to place this down. Got my trash next to me. I kind of want to go at an angle, so I can see the Darling Duckling below it. Now, I'm going to take and start putting these flowers and leaves back here. Kind of like this. So that they kind of hang over like that. Just kind of cute. So I'm going to start by just placing this greenery, I think, down. Glue a little bit of the greenery down and see where it goes. But always move around. I'm not going to push it down all the way. Put just a little bit of glue and stick it in there, because you could just move it around a little bit. A little bit of glue on that one. And then I want to take this leaf. I think I'll stick it right there and behind. And I want to take this one, put it like right there. This one's kind of get tucked under the edge. That one kind of like that. So I'm just kind of surrounding all the pretty flowers in there. This one, I want to go right behind this one. Okay, just like that. I think I want to tuck this kind of like right there. Pretty much covered most of the Darling Duckling, didn't we? So I want to put a little flower right here, so it's peeking out. And then these little yellow ones are really cute. Don't know where I want them. Maybe I'll just stick it right down here. It's kind of cute down there. There. Just put them everywhere, right? And put a little flower right here, tuck it in. Okay, so there's that card. Just very pretty. And I love, well, you know what? I have one more here. Let's put it right over here. Extend these flowers out there. There we go. That looks really good. I think I like it. Hopefully you do. So on the inside, it says happy birthday, happy birthday. On the inside, I'm going to put a true friend remembers you, remembers your birthday, but not your age. Isn't that cool? So different. So I'm going to get my Secret C, tap, tap, tap. I'm going to stamp it right here. That turned out good. Very pleased with that. Clean off my stamp. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this, and remember how I did this around the edges in the Lost Lagoon? I'm going to do that in the inside. Sometimes these stamp pads are hard to open. I'm going to get my little thing out, and I should have done that with this. Luckily that stamp did a really good job. But you know, if it didn't, no big deal, because guess what? You could always put a piece of paper in there to cover it up. So there we go. And then I'm going to get from the other stamp set, like I was saying, from this one, everything, I'm going to use this, I'm going to use this. So I want to bring in my Granny Apple Green. Pretty Granny Apple Green. And I'm going to put a little bitty flower right over there, like that. Oh wait, I wanted it to go off. And like that, okay. So there's my Granny Apple Green. Clean that off. Then I'm going to grab my little flower, which is right here. And I'm going to bring in fresh Frieza. And I'm going to stamp a little flower right there. And a little flower right there. There's the card, the first card. I like it. I think it looks really good. I'll put some embellishments on it in a minute, and I will probably be using these ones, so I'll set that aside so when I get ready to do it, I will. So we're going to work on the next card. Now, I did a little bit of extra work on this one already. I've already stamped everything where I want it, so I'm going to glue everything together, okay? But let me get a drink of water first. Sorry about that. I hate having dry mouth. Constantly thirsty. Just hope you never get this. So when I glued this down, I just took a piece of paper and I kind of measured it, but just left a little bit extra because I knew that most likely it won't go even because it's a floppy piece of paper that this cardstock. When you cut out these little small lines, it just flops everywhere. So it was hard to get it just right, if that makes sense. So we're going to put this right here, even it out nice and even, the best that you can, and move it around. That's what the idea of I like the liquid glue, because I can move it around. And liquid glue lasts a lot longer than the tape runner. Okay, so we'll get this down. I'm going to glue our little papers down. So this one's going to go right here. And I did the tiger. What was it called? I forgot. I'm so sorry. I didn't. Where's it at? Well, it's the tiger one. Oh, here it is. Sorry. Timid Tiger. I stamped Timid Tiger ink on this one. I'm going to put this in this little spot, line it up, and glue it down. Yeah, when you have to cut out 4 to get the colors that you want, you end up making 4 cards. You don't really have a choice. Which is not bad, because, you know, just have to come up with different things for it, right? Where's my needle? It's clogging up again. There we go. Now it's coming out. A little too fast, but that's okay. I could work with that. Make sure you get glue on the tips of this. That's very important. Ooh, whoa, what happened here? Did I not get the right one in the right spot? Oh, I didn't. That's why this one's a little bit longer. Hold on, let me pull this up. This is the danger of not getting exactly where you want it, and I thought I had it lined up. But it's okay, because guess what? Just remove it. I still have my glue still a little wet. It's a good thing I didn't press it down too hard. I would have been sad. There we go. So this one goes up here. Yeah, one is slightly longer, and that's what I did. I grabbed the wrong one. Silly me. And it could just go right over the top. No big deal. I used to go, now I got to start all over. Now it's like, no, you pick it up and you do the best you can, and no one will know. Only you will know. Oh, and you guys who are watching my video will know. Okay, there we go. So you can't even tell. This one I know goes here because it's a thinner little spot right there. So I took and I used the Secret C on the Secret C paper or cardstock to do this one. So taking a little bit of this here. Yeah, I started doing 2 cards in each thing because it was taking so long to get through them. I was doing individual videos, and I thought, you know what? I could do 2 if I prep it really good. And it kind of makes sense to me. Okay. Almost there. So, the next thing I did is I stamped this on a piece of the envelope, the little teapot. And then I fussy cut it. Well, I fussy cut the outside. I used my X-Acto knife to cut that out. Then I cut an oval out of a card, out of the one of the card bases. You can see the little speckles on there. And then, remember that stamp set that I got for my beautiful friend Lori? I took and I colored them, the colors that I wanted, to put in my little teapot. So, I am going to grab my Secret C. Here it is. I need that one. And then I'm going to grab my little brush, this one. And I want to brush around this circle to give a little bit of definition. So I'm just going very lightly and get my definition on here. Just very lightly. Okay. And I want to go around, just kind of bring it in a little bit. You know, I didn't know if I liked this secrecy, but I'm kind of liking it because it's kind of like a bluish, grayish. I can't even explain the color. So I'm going to put that there. But what I want to do is I want to first, so I think I want to pop it up. That's what I want to do. That's the main thing. Let's get the little pops. Where are they? They're right here. Let's pop it up. Three little pop-ups. Dimensional, sorry. They used to be called pop-ups. And then when I joined Stampin' Up, they were called dimensionals. It took me a long time to adjust to saying that. So, okay. I'm going to place this on this little spot. Like that. And then I want to glue this teapot right there. And I did not put any glue in there for a reason, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck in all of these cute little flowers. So like I said, I took and I stamped this, and then I colored them, and then I die cut them with the floral thing. Let's see. I want to do, no, I want to do it like this. That's what I was going to do. I'm trying to remember how I had designed in my head. Sometimes that doesn't happen. So, oh, actually this one's supposed to go first. That's what it was. That's why I was a little bit crazy confused here, because this was going to poke out a little bit out of the pot. There we go. And this one will go right here. And we'll throw a little leaf behind here. There. I like that. So the colors are really cute. I like these colors. Oh, I forgot this one. This one's what matches right there. The Timid Tiger. And I used my markers that Lori gave me. The Timid Tiger I bought separately, but Lori got me the markers, and that's why I used the Granny Apple. And I think that was Petal Pink, the Highland Heather, and that was the yellow, which is the Daffodil Delight. So I used all those, and it turned out really cute. So let's stamp the inside. So now we're going to use Timid Tiger this time to go across. Let's bring some more color in here, right? Just going to get my little thing. Oh, I cannot forget this. Okay, that. And then I will grab my Granny Apple. And my little flower stem here. There, one kind of there. Okay. And while I have the cute little Timid Tiger out, I think I'll put the flower on here. One there and one right there. Okay. And then I want to grab the sentiment, because this is another birthday one. Or you know what? I did not come up with what I wanted to do with this one. I kind of like the idea of the birthday, so let's just stick with the birthday. So we'll stamp a true friend remembers your birthday, not your age. I like that saying. And I use the Timid Tiger on that. So I'll close that one up. Pin that one. And I will do the envelopes later because we're getting kind of late on time. But I wanted to do the embellishments on this first and show you the other cards that I made with this. So, and I think I will use, actually, I'm going to switch it out and do gold. Okay, let's put them out there. And I think I want to put, this is what I want to do, is I want to take and put some little dots going right across the teapot. That's what I thought would be really cute. And I'll throw one over here and there, and then one up there, and maybe one right there. And we have to do odd numbers, of course, so let's put one out right there. Let that dry for a second. And I'll go to this one. I want to put one like right here on the corner. And then up there, and a couple down here. Okay. I broke my little top piece off, so I have to fix that. That's why there's no cuteness on this one. See, this one has a cute one. I did a little thing so I don't lose it. And see, normally, so what happens is, sometimes these little things get bent, so I could just take it off and put a new one on. Pretty cool, huh? So that's why I put that little clasp here on here. It's hard to get on and off though. But it's easier than the other way. I was tying a knot and keeping things on there. That just did not work for me. So now, let me set that aside. I'll clean that off in a minute. This one should be plenty dry. Let's go through and add our dots to put our bling on. I think that when you do the bling stuff, it just like really adds a lot to the card. And that's why, you know me, you can never have too much bling, right? Just keep going around. And that one, see how pretty that is? I like all that bling on there. This one, I think I'm going to do bigger ones this time on this one. But I'll do a tiny one right here on that little note that says, Happy Birthday. Okay. So let's get this off back in this little container. Yeah, I'm glad I used the gold instead of the pink this time. So these are the cards that we made today, and I'll do the envelopes later. We did this one, and we did the, I'll show you again, Extraordinary Flora. I used part of it on washi tape, which was this one. I used the washi tape one. And this one, I stamped it out, and then I colored it, and then die cut it. So this is what I used, okay? Which I love that. Thank you so much, Lori. I just keep looking at it like, wow. So a long time ago, I had a company that I had purchased this. My friend Lori, not the Lori I'm talking about, another one from California. She had this in her store because she has a scrapbooking store. And she goes, Allie, you got to see this. You got to see this. She goes, you just buy the washi tape. And before you leave California, go back to Texas, you could go ahead and die cut it. I have the die cut, so you don't have to pay for that. And I'm going, really? And she goes, yes. So that's what I did. So here's the other one. I used the purse. And I put, may your birthday be filled with pretty things. And see the little flowers there. Different way of opening it up. And this one I did the teapot. I had done one similar to this with the flowers flowing out, but I added some cute little brass butterflies. says, may your birthday be filled with pretty things. So it's all about flowers. So these are the 4 cards that I made. 2 you got to see me make, and 2 I made off camera because I wanted to save time. Okay? If you like my video, please like it and share it. I'd appreciate that. And have a great day. Bye.